Kalen DeBoer has won 87.3% of his games as a college football coach. He is now 13-2 in matchups where both teams are ranked. That's getting it done. And he's 10-0 at home as Alabama's head coach. Oh, how the tides can turn in just a month. So why does it feel controversial to say this following statement? Kalen DeBoer is an awesome head coach. And it's got to be hard for Alabama fans to not compare him to Nick Saban. I get that when you're tailgating in 2025, it's got to feel, the standard was so high just 2 seasons ago. So I get that. And it's definitely something Kalen DeBoer signed up for. I'm not naive to that. But the comparison is causing Alabama to miss the forest through the trees because they have a great coach who's put together a great staff, who has a great quarterback, and is in a winning position in 2025. And I'll take it a step further. Right now, Alabama, to me, is the best team in the SEC. Georgia's right there, but they just beat them. A lot of people have A&M. I didn't glance at how Missouri did. Oklahoma, we'll see how with John Mateer. But I think Oklahoma's, lack of run game and, some of that stuff gives me cause for concern. Right now, with what Ty Simpson's doing and Kalen DeBoer, I think Alabama is the best team in the SEC and should be the favorite to win the SEC. And we'll see with John Mateer's health. You guys know I love John Mateer. But how crazy is it? And that's why I'm making this video. A month ago, not even? Bama was trying to run Kalen DeBoer out of town. I was listening to the Pat McAfee, Nick Saban interview where it was like, man, they don't got that edge. And I get it. I was saying, that week 1 lackadaisical nature was shocking. But good on Kalen DeBoer for righting the ship because the Tide looked like they're back in action. Ty Simpson, 23 for 31, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jam Miller, good for the Tide to have him back. 22 carries, 136 yards, 1 touchdown. And on YouTube, Bama fans, you were showing love to the content last week. Must have been sharing it on the back end because it was my best performing breakdown last week. And so with that, you'll get rewarded for some more breakdown. Let's look at Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson, again, great game. I got 4 plays for you of what continues to impress me about Ty Simpson. I always hate being the guy that's like, I never lost faith in Ty Simpson because it's just like annoying. No one likes a hindsight 2020 guy, but that was the case. That's why you guys are tuning into the content. I watched that Florida State film and I was like, you can tell this guy's good. People weren't saying it, but you could tell by the way they were calling plays. You could tell by the way he was getting through his reads. It was an ugly game for the offense, but now it's coming together for the Tide. And let's look at a couple plays right here of what makes Ty Simpson great. I'm calling him the whole shot king. I saw Greg McElroy loved up one of the whole shots, which we'll get into in this game. Those of you guys that watched the Ty Simpson breakdown a week ago, he had a phenomenal whole shot on the first drive. Look at it. Comes out again. You have a safety. You have 2 high safety look. Those of you guys that watched the Garrett Nussmeier LSU breakdown last week, I told you, it's tough in college when you're throwing the ball versus 2 high safety looks. The whole reason Vandy's in 2 high is to prevent these types of routes, downfield shots. They're so scared about what Ty Simpson and this Alabama passing attack can do. That's why they're deep. That's why they're trying to prevent against the big play. Ty Simpson says, I don't give an F. I'm going to fit a little hole shot right in here. And check out this throw. He makes this look easy. This is not easy. These are alerts. The whole shot is an alert for most quarterbacks. An alert because you're like, if it's there, take it, but we don't really want it part of the progression. Check out this ball. Bam. Rips that shit in there. That puts just so much pressure on the defense. As a defensive coordinator, when a quarterback's hitting whole shot routes, you're in trouble. Because, you're going to go 3 safeties out there? That's just a dime. This right here is the sign of a pocket passing quarterback, which I saw Ty Simpson was a dual threat in high school. Did I see that right? That's a joke. Ty Simpson's not a dual threat, but he's showing dual threat tendencies right here. And this, to me, is probably the most promising play that I saw. This and then the late 4th quarter little scramble moment that he had. But this is a quarterback playing with a ton of confidence. This is not a first-year starter, only in his 5th start. This is a QB playing with a lot of confidence. Look at this. He's going to roll out right here. If it was my pocket passing ass, I'd be like, I don't want to make a mistake, man. I'm going to throw it into the stands. I'm going to throw it away. Ty Simpson says, nah, man, I got some mobility, Max. I don't got your legs. I'm going to make this defensive end miss. And then when you continually feed all your receivers and your receivers know they have a quarterback who's operating at a high level, they're going to stick with the route and they're going to be sharp. They're not going to give up on things. This play's dead in the water right now. But this receiver, is it Ryan Williams? I don't really necessarily, I don't know if, I think it is, yeah. He's working towards the back pylon. Ty Simpson makes this defensive end miss, and it allows this receiver to work back in the A in Alabama for an absolute touchdown. Absolute touchdown. I don't know what that means. An awesome touchdown is what I meant to say. Makes a DN miss on the run, navigates it, touchdown. The success of this play right here is why Ty Simpson took the sack later on in the game with that play action. I saw Greg McElroy getting on his case, rightfully so. That last one, the sack that he took, was a bad play. This right here is a great quarterback play. What do we got here? This is another hole shot. The hole shot king, Ty Simpson. What do we got? You guys know the deal. 2 high safeties. This safety over here is 5 yards outside the hash. The ball is on the boundary, and yet Ty Simpson still fits a hole shot in here. That's just stupid. That's just stupid. And you watch. We can clip this for next week. I promise you. It's back-to-back weeks of Ty Simpson hammering hole shots in there. What's going to happen next week is this safety, I don't know who Alabama has next week, but this safety is going to get it jammed in his brain all week by scout team of like, they love hitting the hole shots. And what's going to happen is Bama is going to know that and get this inside guy up on the safety, and he is going to take the middle of the field grass. I would bet money right now that Alabama next week has a seam post bender touchdown in that game. I really hope that happens, but it's going to be because these safeties are going to be so scared about getting beat at this hole shot. And again, check it. Ty Simpson, ball, easy, touchdown, accurate, catchable, beats the defense. So good. So good. What do we have here? Oh, this is the pocket movement. Again, I mentioned with Arch, the lack of pocket movement, the lack of pocket awareness. This is excellent pocket awareness. Scanning the field, not there, and then he's going to leak out. You guys guessed it, through the little B gap there. Leak out, but remain a passer, knowing that the second he breaks contain, that's where the recess football and the big plays downfield can happen. Oh, crap. Sorry. This is the other one. Next one. This is just a home run shot to Ryan Williams. I'll shut up now, and you guys can just enjoy this. Gives this guy a chance, though. Gets through his progressions, attacking the defense. This just makes a secondary coach so scared. It's a great catch by Ryan Williams, but it's awesome by your quarterback, giving your receiver a chance to make a play. This time, Vandy brings pressure right up the gut. He's going to break contain. Ty Simpson, that is. You break contain. That's when big plays can happen. Flushed out. Remains a passer. Finds that intermediate passing game. Alabama, I want to do a video on this. It's really jumping out to me this year. I'll hit up the ESPN research department. Hopefully no one steals this take, but if they do, just give me credit. The importance of having an intermediate passing game is more important than it feels like ever, because when I'm watching the tape, so many offenses have just RPO quick game and deep shots, and you're missing a huge pillar of what used to be a staple in offensive playbooks. Alabama has a lethal intermediate passing game, which then softens up the defense and gives you easy completions, softens up the defense and gives you easy 5-yard runs, because they're able to complete intermediate passes like that. A lot of these great teams don't have it. Miami does have it. Oregon does have it. Bama does have it. Florida State doesn't have it. Maybe that's why they're losing. At least not to they don't have the intermediate passing game to the level of these guys. The Alabama faithful. Never did I think that the Alabama faithful would be one of my favorite fan bases this football season, but they're supporting the content, even though they let me have the business in 2016. Funny story. Little side note before we get into the last segment, which will be more ACC chatter. So sometimes I go to like a contrast therapy place, like a ice bath sauna situation, and it's like a communal thing. It's very LA of me. So any of you guys Do they have those in the South? I don't know, but it's a very like West Coast LA thing. So you can, insert joke about that. But I walk into the sauna and I sit down and this guy's like, "Oh, what's up, man? Like, I watch your content, good stuff." And I was like, "Hey, I appreciate it." And I could tell like he kind of wanted to ask more or whatnot. And he goes, "Dude, I just got to say like, or no. I go, like, who's your squad? Just like making small talk." And he goes like, "Oh, Alabama." And I can see his face. When someone's like either makes a joke that flops or is like lying or not telling the truth, and their face kind of goes like numb. He goes like, "Bam," and I could see his face go numb. And I kind of like gave him a smirk, and then he started laughing because I was like, "Yeah, it's not my favorite fan base because they let me have the business in 2016." And he goes, "Yeah, dude, I was actually at that game. Rough one to watch for you." And so we ended up hashing out the 2016 Alabama game where I got my ass handed to me. But 9 years later makes for a good story.